Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis, and this is episode 341, season 14. Today's date is June 23rd, 2024, and welcome to the show. It's been a week since I've done one, so I'm very excited about doing today's program. On today's show, I will talk about the 35th anniversary of the debut of the movie Batman from 1989 that starred Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. I'll talk about my memories of that, and I'll explain why I'm doing this on Vanished Chicagoland, on the podcast, that is. You'll understand. Also, I'll talk about, do my tribute to actor Donald Sutherland. He passed away this week, and I'll talk about my memories of watching him in the movies and on television. And also I'll talk about the Brown Bear restaurant that was located on the north side of Chicago. And talk about a little bit of that. I have a menu, and I'll describe the menu and some of its history. I didn't find much of it, but I'll do the best I can. Okay. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Squoze Drink Mix. That's Squoze. And this commercial is from 1970s. I remember this one very well. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the program, folks. Thank you.
How do you do? I am half a sugar. Pillsbury squoze me in half to make Squoze.
Squoze?
The new family drink mix with just half the sugar and calories of most pre-sweetened mixes.
Delicious.
Then, with half the sugar, they squoze the 10-quart can. They even squoze the price.
So it costs less and tastes great.
New Squoze from Pillsbury. With me, half the sugar.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Squoze Drink Mix. Like I said before, I remember this product very well. That was from the 1970s. The commercial is from 1976. This product was introduced 1974, something like that, 75. It's from the Pillsbury Company. That was in competition with a lot of drink mixes. For example, Weiler's, Kool-Aid, Minute Maid, you name it. There's another one. There's another brand I can't think at the top of my head. Funny Face did one, but I talked about that before. There were a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them indeed, and they were competing in advertising and television and all that. I tried them all mostly when I was a kid. Sometimes I begged my mother to buy some of these things, so we could try them. And I think she bought Squoze one time. What's so special about that product? It was like half a sugar, so it wasn't that sweet. But there were some drink mixes back then that didn't add sugar. Some were unsweetened, and you add sugar if you wanted to. Depends how much you want. It's not good for you these days. It never has. That's for kids. They get a little hyper. So when it's a hot day, like it has been for the past few days, this past week, it's so refreshing, thirst quenching to have a tall glass of, drink like that. Especially lemonade. It's wonderful. And it came in a lot of flavors, and I have the flavors right here. Just a moment, please. So I'll get them to you. So let's see. I think it came in lemonade, lemon lime, cherry, grape, punch, and let's see, orange. Came in those like that. So, I don't know how long it lasted, maybe about a couple years, maybe towards the end of the decade. I'm almost sure, but I guess it didn't take off. It wasn't very popular. I guess not. So it bit the dust after that. So that's a shame. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the 1989 movie, Batman. Also, I'll do a tribute to actor Donald Sutherland. He just passed away this week. And also, I'll talk about the Brown Bear restaurant that was located on the north side of Chicago. I want to mention one thing before I get started. It's about my health, of course. This Tuesday, coming up, I will go to see my radiologist oncologist. Yeah, she's an oncologist, but she does radiation oncologist, that is. I'm sorry. She'll give me, we'll do a follow-up and see how I'm doing. And so far I'm doing well. I'm doing fine. I've recovered from the operation from last month. It took me a while, but I'm doing much, much better. Really. Still tired. I haven't done exercise yet because it's too hot. Hopefully, maybe I'll do a little walking today. Hopefully, just a little walk. That would help a great deal. That'd be nice. I'll look forward to that. So we'll see what happens. I got to explain to her, the results of the radiation. I know that I've taken the blood test. The last reading was, for the PSA was 2.08, which is excellent, from 9.96, and then just dropping. And I think it's still dropping. So I think it's working. Still taking the medication, that is. So we'll see. We'll see what she says. It's going to be hot that day. Ugh. Anyway, so next appointments will be August. The urologist and then the oncologist. Not her, but the other one. We'll see what they say. And I hope it's good news. I hope it's awesome news. I hope so. I've... like I said, a lot of people have told me, you've been through a lot these past 5 years. It's just nuts. I need a little, how you say, to simmer down, with my health. Something crazy comes up and, I just want to move on. Maybe get off the medication and just move on with my life. I like to go travel. I like to, resume all the activities I do in my house, but most of the time I'm tired and I just lie down all the time. So I don't want to do that. Like to keep active. You got to keep active. Not too active, just active. I'm too old. Don't go crazy. Just a little movement. You'll be okay. So that's it. Okay. So right now I'm going to talk about the movie Batman from 1989. Now, you're asking why I'm talking about this movie. Well, what has that got to do with Chicagoland? I will tell you why, because I had special memories of this movie. Have you ever watched a movie or have anticipated looking forward to a movie that you want to see in the theater? This has happened to everybody. That you see the trailers and you heard announcements, this movie that's coming up. I did a story on this on my blog, VanChicagoland.blog. I didn't do a podcast episode. I don't think I did. Probably about a few years ago. But this is the 35th anniversary of the release today. It was released on June 19th out in Los Angeles, but its official release was today. And, it was, all over the country. And it was well worth it. I got excited. I don't know. I've been a Batman fan all my life, ever since from the TV show from the 1960s. And believe me, this movie is not like the TV show at all. No, the TV show was kind of funny, but it was so endearing, so colorful. So I love it. I love the show. I have it on Blu-ray. It finally came out in 2014, about 10 years ago. And when it was announced it was going to be released, on Blu-ray, I got so excited. I bought it. I bought the deluxe. I watched the whole thing. I love the show. I really do. It's one of my favorites. And anyway, so It was heavily, so for the 1989 movie, it was heavily advertised. And so I picked, I was working up north at a publishing company. And that weekend, I wanted to go see it. So I did. And I first saw it near my house at Ford City Cinema. Now, this is the year before the cinema at Ford City closed in 1990. So this was a year before. And then they moved it down east to the 14 screen, the AMC. And it's bigger, has more screens and all that. But this is the cinema. And I was looking forward to it. I went by myself. Waited in line. I'm going crazy, and bought some popcorn candy. I was a pig. That's why. So sat down. Luckily, I found a middle seat. I always like to sit in a middle seat to watch it, and I did. And you had to. I think you had to call in advance for tickets, but luckily, I got a seat to watch it. Anyway, so. I was sitting in the theater. I watched it. It blew my mind. I loved it. It was dark, of course, and it was nothing like the TV show, but it was great. But I think this has happened to most people. When you see a movie for the first time, you come out and you're like, okay, it was all right. It was great. But when you've watch it a second time and a third time and a fourth time, which I did. I watched it 2 more times. No, I did it 3 more times. I'm sorry. I went to Chicago Ridge Mall and saw it, and I loved it more. And the third time, I loved it more. That happens multiple viewings when you watch a movie. You go nuts, you go crazy, and you love it, and you remember the lines, and it's wonderful. It really is. It's awesome. Like that. The performances were great. Michael Keaton was good Batman. A lot of people didn't like him as Batman because they thought of Adam West, from this show, but he pulled it off. He was great. It was wonderful. He's a good Batman. Wonderful. But then you have, of course, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Perfect casting. And he was funny in that. There's a couple of funny scenes in it like that, but he was wonderful. Of course, after that, then when the movie was released, they had merchandising. They had a McDonald's tie-in, I think, or was it Batman Returns, like that? And so it was a big hit. It was phenomenal. It was a summer hit, and it was the best movie of 1989. And I get so excited, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was a great movie. It's one of those movies that's like inside you, and you can't stop thinking about it. So it was one of those, and I loved it. I really did. And later that year, it was released on VHS for VCR. DVDs didn't come yet. Streaming didn't come. VHS, and I bought it. I waited to buy it. Couldn't wait. The moment it was released, I ran to Suncoast Motion Picture Company. I think that's the store. And I think it was at Orland Park. Raced down there. I drove down there. Picked it up. I reserved it. Got it, and, I bought it. I got it. I came home that day. And then at night, after dinner, I watched it on my VCR. I loved it. Then I watched 2 more times, 3 more times. That's how it was. So, I probably wore out the tape, but I don't think I still have the VHS. I think I still, later on, I bought it on DVD, and I don't know, on Blu-ray, maybe. It's been a while. So about 5 years ago, I rewatched it. And I might watch it today or tonight, maybe, in honor of this wonderful film. Of course, the sequels came, Batman Returns, with the Penguin and the Catwoman. It was good. I liked it, but not like the first one. And then the third one came, Batman Forever, with Jim Carrey's The Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. First time they had Two-Face on screen like that. And he was okay. It was good. But Michael Keaton didn't return. No, they had Val Kilmer. He was all right. He was okay, Batman. Then the fourth one came, Batman and Robin. A lot of people didn't like that. They didn't like it at all. I thought it was all right, but it's like it was like from the 60s TV show, And they had Robin, of course, Chris O'Connell. He played that. I think that's his name. Chris O'Donnell. I think that's his name. I got his name mixed up. Yeah, he played good Robin. He was good Robin, yeah. And then the villains were there was Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Then more Batman movies came, with Christian Bale with Batman Begins, and then more Batman movies came, and then with I forgot the Robert Pattinson. I saw that. That one was different. That was different, but it was good. So I'm still a huge Batman fan. I'm still like that. That's how it is. All right. Right now I'm gonna play a TV spot. It's a trailer of the 1989 movie Batman. I remember the trailers. I watch these on television before I go see the movie, and it's wonderful. I love seeing these. So I will play the trailer right now from 1989, and that's the movie Batman. And when I come back, I'll talk about actor Donald Sutherland. I'll do a tribute to him. And, of course, the Brown Bear Restaurant. Okay, so sit back and relax, and let's go back to 1989 to watch Batman, the movie. Thank you.
Vicky Vale.
Hi. Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
I'd like you to handle this operation personally. Me?
Nice outfit.
Hold on a second. I can't make it then either. I've got a very important meeting today.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man! What are you? I'm Batman.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Alfred, let's go shopping.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker.
I feel a little drunk. And you're not anything.
Hey, one drink and I'm flying.
When freak terrorizes, wait till they get a load of me.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the trailer, the movie trailer, that is, for the 1989 movie Batman. Great movie. Okay, so I remember when Blockbuster Video was in business and they advertised it heavily. They had that, and I did go to Blockbuster Video near my house, and I saw it, on display, and they had them on sale. They had a display with a Batman cutout standing next to, Michael Keaton. That was kind of cool. That was kind of nice. So, those were the days. I miss video stores. I miss them. Thank God bookstores are still around. Some of them are. Video stores, not really. I wish Blockbuster would come back. I wish we did. I love browsing. I just love it. I miss it. Anyway, so right now I'm going to talk about actor Donald Sutherland. Now, he passed away on June 20th, 2024, about 3 days ago. He was a wonderful actor. He was born in St. John, New Brunswick, Canada, and born in July 17th, 1935. And so he He did a lot of movies. A lot of movies indeed. He did perform up in Canada and up in first in London. You know, he went there, and then one of the earliest TV shows he appeared was The Avengers in 1997. Wow, that was a long time ago. And check that out. And then he started appearing in movies. He did that, and I'll tell you what movies he started, which was so he's I remember let's see, I got his filmography right here. Here we go. Yeah, in the 60s he appeared like here and there, you know, and nothing, but one of the movies that he did appear that stood out was The Dirty Dozen, but he was not that famous back then. I mean, he wasn't well known like that. Later on, he appeared in more films, you know, like that. Of course, one of his most famous role was in the 1970 movie MASH, based on a TV show. And he played Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce, you know, that Alan Alda played in the TV show. He was great in that. I loved it. It was wonderful. And, of course, he was in Kelly's Heroes, played Sergeant Oddball. I've seen that movie once. Once I saw that. And he was good in that, you know. And he continued to appear in movies. One was Clute. He played John Clute. That was a good movie. That was with Jane Fonda, like that. And he played in The Day of the Locusts. I remember that. And... of course, one of his famous roles was, my brother liked this movie. It was Animal House. He played Professor Dave Jennings. There's a couple scenes that he's famous. Wasn't in like 2 or 3 scenes. When he's in the classroom, writes Satan on the blackboard. I remember that. When I saw this in the theater, I'll get to that in a second. He wrote Satan. He was teaching a class. I saw this movie for the first time at Fort City. I snuck in. You know, and some of my brothers, we saw that. It was an R-rated movie at the time. And then he was smoking pot in one scene. And then he had he slept with Karen Allen, you know, the actress in the movie. And so he was great in that. Also, the other one, he was in the remake of the movie, I think it was 1956, 1955, or The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He was in that. He was good in that movie. I remember the advertising of that. Of course, another famous role was Calvin Jarrett in the 1980 movie Ordinary People. I saw this movie at home, not in the theater. I wanted to see it in... I did want to see it in the theater, but it was kind of depressing, you know, because with Timothy Hutton played the son, and also Mary Tyler Moore as his mother. You know, she was far different from her characters, like Laura Petrie and Mary Richards. But she was great in that. Directed by Robert Redford. Of course, he was in Eye on the Needle, 1981, and Max Dugan Returns. Oh. And the list goes on and on and on and on. You know, he played in JFK. Also, he was great in Backdraft from 1991. He played an arsonist. He was good in that. And, he was a busy guy. He really was. He played, he was in a lot of movies. Did a lot of television like that. Also, he was in The Hunger Games. He played in that. A lot of people remember that. So, what can I say? Also, he did appeared on TV, but not as much as in the movies. Appeared some of them like that. So he was. He starred in a TV series from 2007 called Dirty Sexy Money. I remember that. It came out about 15 years ago. 17 years ago. He was good in that TV show. He played the lead like that. So that's great like that. And he was busy up till the end, up till last year, like that. Of course, his son, Kiefer, is an actor as well. He was in his famous role. It was in 24. He's a good actor as well. And of course, Donald Sutherland died on June 20th, 2024 at age 88 in Miami. So when I heard about when he passed away, that was sad. That was very sad because and a lot of people were, surprised. But he was very sick for a long time, so that's a shame. So this is my tribute to him. He's a fine actor, wonderful actor. Those eyes, you see his eyes, on the screen. Ooh, it's like, wow, like that. Okay. So let's see. So right now I'm going to talk about the Brown Bear Restaurant. Okay. The Brown Bear Restaurant, that was located at 6318 North Clark Street. That was in the Rogers Park, either the Rogers Park neighborhood or Edgewater. I think it's Edgewater. I'm not sure. And I found a menu of this place, an old menu, and it had like the phone number, with the prefixes, with the letters, and it was Holly Court 5-9610. So like that. And the owners were, I believe their names were Johnny Held and Leo Held. They were the owners of that. I think they were brothers, I imagine. And there was a bear outside the restaurant. There was like a statue. And it was a German restaurant. And a lot of people remembered this place. And they remembered the food. They remembered the food. And it was wonderful. And it was right on the corner. And, what's it called? The decor inside and all that, which was great, like that. And so it was, I wish I've eaten there. I wish I've gone there, but I didn't have the opportunity like that. So I'll read off the menu. I'm not going to read everything. So here we go. Let's see. They had steaks and chops. They had roast turkey, prime rib, love prime rib. Sirloin steaks, buck steaks, chop steak. Anything. Lamb chops, pork chops, 1/2 spring chicken. Broiled filet mignon, chicken livers. A lot of people don't like chicken livers, and they always served it with French fried potatoes, salad, bread, and butter. That's great. Sounds good. Of course, they had appetizers. They had like shrimp cocktail, if you like shrimp. A herring. They had that. They had head cheese. I don't want to try that. No. No thanks. They had celery stuffed with Roquefort cheese. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah. You don't find Roquefort cheese very much over there. Yeah. And also they had dinners, he had goose, of course, roast beef. I just mentioned that. Fried chicken. It was half pan, like that. Pepper steak. That's their specialties. I'll read off the specialties. One was pepper steak with mushrooms and wine sauce. One was sauerbraten with potato dumpling and red cabbage. Now, these are German recipes. Wiener Schnitzel. They had that. Pigs in a blanket. And Hassenpfeffer. Yeah, they had that. I think that's rabbit. With potato dumplings. They had that. The steaks, I mentioned those. Seafood. They did have seafood. They had boiled jumbo Lake Superior whitefish, red snapper, trout, also frog legs. Some people like frog legs. They do. French fried shrimp, cocktail sauce, perch with tartar sauce, rainbow trout, lobster tail, shrimp creole, sole, and all kinds of goodies for seafood. If you love seafood, this was a perfect place to go. Of course, they had salads, of course, and you had a choice of sides. For potatoes, you want baked, you want whipped, or you want French fried, which is great. That's a great selection. Of course, they had desserts. They had ice cream, rum cake, probably real rum, ice cream sundaes, cheesecake, sherbet, and of course, apple strudel. Apple strudel is German. They had that, and. According to some sources, I don't know when this opened. Probably in the 50s, I imagine. I don't know. I can't say. I don't want to say. But it did, according to a few comments on Facebook from some people, this closed in 1991. I don't know why it closed. Maybe the brothers died or they died. I don't know. And then it was sold. So that's a shame. But once I posted this a long time ago on Van Chicagoland, people love it. They remember they had great memories going out to dinner and all that. It was beautiful. They loved that. Not many German restaurants left in Chicago. There's quite a few. Not many. If you go to Lincoln Square, neighborhood up in the north side, there were a lot like that. But they've been closing a few like that. But there's some scattered all over the Chicagoland area. You just have to find them like that. So that's a great memory for most people. The Brown Bear restaurant. I'm sure they had cocktails and German beer, imported like that. Probably Beck's, I guess. I don't know. So that's we need that kind of restaurants back. Some have come back, some haven't, but that's how it is. Okay. So that's it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the 1989 movie Batman that starred Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Also, I talk about actor Donald Sutherland. Excuse me. I did a tribute to him. I talked about his movies and his TV roles. And then I talked about the Brown Bear restaurant that was located on the north side of Chicago. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever apps are available, where you have access to them. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Just click on an app on your phone or your tablet and tap follow, and you'll get the latest episodes. You'll receive a notification of and you can listen to previous episodes if you wish. If you have time. Also, it'll be posted on my blog, vanchicagoland.blog. And you can click on that. It'll take you right to it. And did I mention Spotify? I think I did. Yeah, you can find it on Spotify. If I didn't, I apologize. Also, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. Again and again, people always ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? You can find it on YouTube. Go to YouTube, do a search. Van Chicagoland Stories, or my name, Pete Costanis. You can find it. Click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. You can listen to previous episodes and you'll get notifications, or you can scroll through the episodes. This is 341. There's a lot. Or do a search on whatever business or a past business from Chicagoland you can think of. Most likely it's there and you can listen to it if you'd like. Also, so you can subscribe to that so you get the latest episode, like I said before. Also, it'll be shared on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, Reddit, Blue Sky, and also TikTok. I hope I didn't forget anything. I think that's it. You can find it. When you do an internet search on Google, like for example, Google, you will find my podcast. You will find it there. Some people have told me that, which is pretty cool. Okay. So this is Pete Costanis, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories. Thank you for joining me. It's like I said, it's a beautiful day today. It's not humid. Thank God. You can walk around, just enjoy it. As for the next podcast, I'm not going to do it Tuesday because I'll be going to the doctor at one at a time. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. We will see. If I do, fine. If not, then I would probably do one next weekend, which is okay. That's all right. So here's bye-bye from me and Ray Rayner saying that. I get that mixed up, and that's a little traveling music he always does at the end of his show. Okay, so he's going to say bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.